Oh, hey, welcome back, fellow shop rats. Today, we are starting the first session on getting ready for our big trip. Why don't you come on over and join me in the trailer? We got a bunch of work to do. Oh, we also got to open the back door. If you've been paying attention over on the community tab and on the Facebook page, you will have seen some posts about a big trip that we're going to be making real soon with this trailer and the car that's in it. And there's just a lot of prep to do, especially since we've not made much of a big trip with this trailer since we got it. We're very fortunate that it is a brand new trailer, but we've not taken it on a trip before, and we've not used it with the car that we got in there, and we've got a lot of tools and other stuff that we need to get around, and we got to make sure we can tie the car down properly. And well, there's just a whole bunch of stuff. And while that may seem like very elementary stuff, we try to cover the full gamut here on the channel because it's possible that people don't know how to properly tie a car down and haven't thought through what they might need to take with them on a trip when they're taking an antique or a classic car. So I guess you could call this Car Transportation 101.
This is My Cars Shop.
You probably figured out that the trailer is got the 26 Oakland in it, and that's where it's been living since we got it. And of course, the trailer is available to use for other things, but its main purpose is to house and transport the Oakland. And when we bought the trailer, we had them install some extra tie downs, but we've never really tied the car down in here. And so I thought it would be a good session to spend just talking about my philosophy on car tie down and some of the things like that. I've got a tote full of straps and come-alongs and all kind of stuff here that I always carry around, usually in the back of my truck, but it's been more relegated to the trailer as of recent years. So I thought we would just go through and organize all of this and relax. I'm not going to share all of that boring detail with you, but just see exactly what we've got in here and what needs to stay and what needs to go. So each item as it comes out is going to be singing the song.
Should I stay or should I go?
As you can see, we have way more stuff here than we possibly could ever need. We have 6 tie downs. Those are big enough to tie down a house. We have the axle straps, which I think I have 4, 5, 6 of. Some of this is mine. Some of this is a good buddy of mine who doesn't have a trailer anymore. He just said, just keep it at your place and use it whenever you want. So I've got, I think, 3 or 4 new ones of those axle straps. And then I've got some old ones. I know there's another one in the shop I need to go get. And I've got 3 come-alongs and a couple of extra receivers, which don't fit this trailer, but I just kind of tend to throw stuff in the tote. And I needed to organize it because it's a big mess. But I want to kind of go through some of this with you and then figure out the positioning on the car and where we're going to tie it down. And, well, there's just going to be stuff and some philosophizing, so don't go away. And I went and got the other straps. So we have 5 of those, I believe. We have these 2 big yellow straps that I don't know that we're going to need. I did need these when we hauled the car home on the open trailer, but I think with the tie downs that are in the floor, we're going to be okay. So one of the things that is important when you're tying a vehicle down is knowing, you want enough tongue weight, because a car in a trailer that's too far back, which this one is right now, causes the trailer to handle really bad. When we brought the trailer home from Metro Detroit area, where we purchased it from Great Lakes Trailer Sales, the trailer was empty, of course, and there was no load leveling bars on it. And it pulled okay, but it did sashay around a little bit. So I've got a set of load levelers. We're going to put those on here. But the first thing I want to do is determine exactly where we want the car and then determine our best options for strapping and so forth. So I want to move the car forward probably 3 feet or so. So we'll get that accomplished. It's going to get crowded, but this trailer, the car could stay where it's at to some degree. But this trailer is kind of designed to bring in a 4-wheeler or a golf cart up in here. So it's got a lot of front storage space, which we're going to take advantage of eventually and put some more permanent type storage in here, but for now this is going to work. So I want to bring the car up ahead a little bit. I need to look at the back and determine exactly where we want to, we want it centered between these and one set of these, because there's 1, 2, 3, I think there's 8 of these total in here. This is the furthest forward set. So I think having the car further forward where the engine weight is a few feet ahead of the axle would be good. Right now the engine is kind of over the axle, towards the front of the axle a little bit. So tongue weight matters is what I'm trying to say. All right, we've got that tied down. One of these here has a lot longer lead than that one. I'd forgotten about that. I haven't used these in a while. The other thing is some of these are actually semi-tie downs, and so they have this kind of hook, and I don't have any way to use those two. They work good on my nephew's trailer because there's pockets those can go in. So we're going to put those aside. There's 2 of those, I believe. Yes, there's another one here. And we're going to end up having to use these, which is fine because where the car ended up positioning, it's way back. And I'm going to need longer straps anyway. So I think we'll be okay. So I'm going to take the yellow straps back and a couple of these to the back of the car and get those put on the rear end, and we'll see where we go from there. So we're tied down there now, and I think that's going to work okay. The car is pretty good. I think we're enough over the front. I'll show you in there. And then the other thing is we've got these other tie downs right up there. You probably can't see them real well. And I can put safety chains from that just around the axle so that if the car does happen to break loose in here, it doesn't go rolling around. So I think we'll be okay like that. Yeah, pretty good. So when you tighten it down, I'll probably tighten the back pretty good and then pull the car forward with these so that it's locked into position good. We'll put those safety chains around the rear axle just so that if the car does happen to loosen up for some reason, it's not going to go anywhere as far as going too far in here and smashing out the back door or smashing into the back door, or it's got huge distance to come forward. If we slammed on the brakes, it probably would go right out the front of the trailer. So we want to obviously protect the car, protect the trailer. And so I think we're pretty good there. When I started filming today, it's a damp day, but it's only like 65 degrees. So I had my Just Mopar Joe Bad Tree Productions sweatshirt on, but it quickly worked up a sweat and had to take that off. So it's warmer out than you think. But so let me talk a little bit about my philosophies about car trailers and tying cars down and stuff like that. So there's all kinds of controversy out there, and I've entered into discussions and gotten flamed by the experts on things and so forth. I personally, just me, prefer to tie a car down by the axles and not tie it down by the suspended part of the unit. So on a unibody car, it'd be tying it to the unibody. On a full frame car, it would be tying it to something so that you're tying the body down and then compressing the suspension to hold the car to the trailer. Now I understand that from the factory on the rail cars and on the semis, and probably even still to this day, that's how they do it. I am not a professional and I don't play one on YouTube. I've been transporting cars on trailers for over 40 years. I've always tied them to the axle so that the body can float. I just feel like having that tied down tighter to the trailer and allowing the body to just kind of float with the bumps on the road is less strain on the tie downs. It's not just
Bring it down and making it stay there and not move.
I feel like that can break stuff. Just my personal opinion, and my opinion and $4 might buy you a gallon of gas.
Probably not.
One of the things I'm going to be doing in the next couple of days is taking these into the shop and lubricating them and getting them to work freer and so forth. Some of the safety things are not working, and there are no safety things on the back as far as the hooks. So I may look at picking up a couple more straps like this that are shorter, but the ones I have back there will work. I've used them for years and I'm not too concerned. And like I said, with a safety chain on the back, that will keep the car from rolling around in here like a pea in a pod. So the next thing I need to do is I want to see if my load leveler bars off of my travel trailer way back there in the Walnut Grove campground will work on this trailer. So I got to go back there and bring those here. Don't go away. Well, I think we're going to have an issue because the emergency battery for the electric brakes is right in the way of where the load leveling bar is going to need to go. I'm almost positive. Dang it. I'm not a happy camper about that because I really wanted to put those on there. I'll bring them over here and I'll show you. So that's where they would go, is kind of like that, but I don't know the exact position, obviously, because I don't have the load leveler, I don't have the truck hooked up to the trailer, etc., etc. These things can tend to move around a little bit, and I don't want it to go and, knock that battery box or pinch, break off my cable or all of that stuff. And I'm guessing there's probably not enough wire here. No, there's another big electronic component in there. And I don't guess there's enough wire that I can move this over here, unfortunately. So, I suppose I need to, and then, yeah, we'd have to move that also. So nothing is really in a good place. I'd like to see these don't move, but I tend to think they do move. All right, I got to do some pondering. The re-engineering is all done. And so we moved the battery in there. We have plenty of room here now for the load leveler bar. I moved the breakaway here. It's not as far back, but it's up further. But I still think there's plenty of room here for the stretchiness. I mean, the trailer is going to have to go really far before that pulls out. And obviously that's the design. So I think we're good there. Nothing should interfere. The wiring here hangs loose, so that's fine. I need to replace this with a shorter, say that 4 times real fast, a shorter bolt, so that holds in place good and doesn't smash into that battery box if that thing pops around a little bit. So yeah, I put the wiring in a loom, and I need to do a little more taping on that, but I'm out of time for today. And so the load leveler should work now. I don't have time to pull the truck over here. Like I said, I'm out of time, but I'll show you what it does. So this is the load leveler bar here, and this part slips up into a pocket in the receiver in my truck, and it clips in place. And then this chain back here goes on this little hooker here. And of course, this is supposed to hinge, but it's not tight. So what you do is you jack the trailer up higher than level. So the back of the vehicle is actually up high with it latched onto the latch or the hitch. And then it's up high. And then you pull this bar into place. And then you lower it back down with the goal of trying to keep the trailer and the truck both fairly level. And that provides some stability and better ride quality. And things don't sashay around as much. And, well, stuff like that. So I'm not pulling the truck over here today. Like I said, I'm out of time. But it's good progress there. I think those load levelers are going to work, and it will make that trip a whole lot more enjoyable. So that's a good thing done. About out of camera battery also now. So let's take you over here in the trailer. I got one more thing to show you. When I was working in the shop, I ran across one more of these, so I can pull those ones that have the flat hook for semi. I can pull the flat strap out that has this type of eyelet, feed it into this, and I'll have 3 of those. So that's good. And so I'll probably use this one in place of one of those real long ones just because it's shorter, and that will make more sense. I could pull out of that one back there. I could pull the strap out as well and maybe use one of these straps that has just a loop on it, but I don't. Oh, you know what? I could do that and use one of the straps out of that, so that's probably the way to do it. I'll shorten those yellow ones up back there. So I don't have time to do that today. Dad's going to be here Saturday, and we'll get these all lubricated up. But like I said, I'm out of time. So I appreciate you spending the day with me here in the shop. And we're not in the shop, we're in the trailer, but we're just working on the stuff that needs to be worked on. My neighbor just came home from work and getting her done and making progress. I appreciate you being here. More to come, obviously. And oh, if you're a praying kind of person, pray for my friend's mom, Cheryl. She's having some health issues, and they're selling some shirts, so I picked one up to just give some team spirit for Cheryl. So we're thinking about you, Cheryl, praying for you. All right, that'll do it. We will catch you on the next one.
Don't forget. Rock!